Hello, dear students. This is Sushma Singh, and I welcome you back to today's session with a very big heart. Today, we would do the comprehensive study of yet another prose part from Flamingo book of Standard 12 CBSE. The name of the lesson is Deep Water by William Douglas, and this is an excerpt taken from his autobiography of Men and Mountains. And yes, students, please do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more comprehensive study materials. In this module, I'm going to give you the all-inclusive of this inspirational story. But first and foremost, let me give you its introduction. The story Deep Water, written by William Douglas, deals with two aspects of his life, the fear of water and how he overcame this fear. He narrates an autobiographical incident that occurred when he was 10 or 11 years old and almost drowned in the YMCA swimming pool. This near-death experience of drowning had a very strong impact on his psychology. He developed hydrophobia, which took control of his physical strength and emotional balance for many long years. However, he was able to conquer the fear of water because of sheer determination, courage, and hard work. Let's now move on to his autobiographical account. It starts with the author's decision to learn swimming, and for that, what elaborate preparation he had made actually. So let's know about his decision and preparation. At the age of 10 or 11, he decided to learn swimming, and he preferred the YMCA pool to Yakima River because it was an ideal place to learn swimming. It was a safe pool, only 2-3 feet deep at the shallow end, though it was 9 feet at the deep end, yet the slope of the pool was very gradual. He did not prefer River Yakima because it was quite deep and had rough water and fast current. Moreover, Yakima River was very dangerous as a lot of drowning had taken place, and this was the reason why his mother also warned him against the river. To be on the safe side, he also got a pair of water wings that instilled a sense of confidence in him. He was so interested in learning swimming that he even gave up his dislike to go bare-legged to the pool. Finally, the author decided to learn swimming by imitating others because at YMCA pool, the old fear of water resurfaced in his mind. Though the author had made up his mind to learn how to swim at YMCA pool, yet the sight of water revived his unpleasant memories. As a matter of fact, William developed the fear of water at extremely young age when he was just 3 or 4 years old. And this was because he had a terrible experience of almost drowning. He was knocked down and buried by a huge wave at a beach in California when he accompanied his father to the beach. In his father's perspective, it was not at all a frightening experience, and he even tried to make him comfortable. But William was terrorized by the overpowering force of the waves, and this instilled a fear of water in his subconscious mind. However, when William had just regained his confidence after a few days of aping other boys and started feeling comfortable, that a terrible incident took place. What happened actually? William went to the pool one day, but nobody was there, and he did not have the courage to enter the pool alone. So he was sitting all alone by the side of the pool and waiting for others to come. By that time, a big boy of about 18, muscular with great physique, came at the pool, and out of prank and amusement, just for fun, he tossed Douglas into the deep end of the pool. And this misadventure, you can say, once again aggravated his deep-rooted fear of water. William Douglas was grappled with panic as he sank to the bottom of the pool in a sitting position, but he was not frightened enough to lose his reasoning power, and so he thought of a strategy to save his life. He planned to make a big jump to come to the surface on reaching the bottom, to lie flat on it and then paddle to the edge of the pool. But he failed to rise up. His descent to the bottom of the pool seemed a long way, as 9 feet felt like 90 to him. He struggled hard and even tried to catch hold of something like rope, but clutched only water, and he could not come up to the surface. He felt something was pulling him down. He swallowed water and was completely choking. He was in extreme terror and panic. When his first attempt of saving himself failed, stark terror took a deeper hold on him, and he felt paralyzed. His limbs refused to move, and his lungs were about to burst. Twice he attempted to come up to the surface and even screamed, but no sound came out. All his efforts were in vain. Only the pounding of his heart and head made him realize that he was still alive. He shook and trembled with fright. He could neither move his limbs nor call out for help. He started going downwards into the pool for the third time. He stopped making any further effort now. When blankness swept over him and was all quiet, he felt total relaxation. There was no fear, no panic, and it was all quiet and peaceful. He was drowsy, tired, completely exhausted, and wanted to go to sleep. He felt that he was floating in space and felt as if his mother's tender arms were around him, and he soon became unconscious. Now, let's talk about the effect of this misadventure. Not only did an aversion to water overpower him, but it also aggravated his childhood fear. Despite being rescued, William found himself in the firm grip of fear. He could not eat and sleep for days. He never went back to the pool and avoided every such situation that made him encounter with water. He was unable to enjoy water-related activities and sport. Indeed, he felt incomplete and helpless as that fear had taken control over his life. The fear of water never left William, even years had passed. As a result, this fear had robbed him of all water related activities. However, his craving to regain his lost confidence while being in water was so strong that he was finally determined to defeat his fear, because this fear had actually made him handicapped. So instead of running away from the situation, he wanted to fight back. Now, students, this shows the ability of the author and his determination to face the difficulties in life. Initially, on his own, he tried every possible means to get rid of his fear of water, but he could not. So this time, he decided to hire a professional coach to learn swimming. This professional coach would ensure that William knew swimming well enough to be able to swim in huge lakes as well as rivers and cascades. The instructor built a proper device consisting of a rope and a pulley to teach him how to swim. William used to practice 5 days a week for an hour each day. The instructor also worked very systematically and by intense practice taught him breathing techniques as well as swimming strokes. The instructor had done his job as he had created a swimmer by removing his fear and taught him swimming bit by bit. No doubt, by rigorous training of the swimming instructor, Douglas got rid of his fear of water. He still wondered if he would be terror-stricken when alone in the pool. So, to curb his lingering doubts and to conquer his fear, he went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire, dived off a dock at Island, and swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamp Act Island. When he reached the middle of the lake, he did experience his old fear again. But once he took the courage to face and laugh at the terror and move on, he realized that his old fear of water vanished completely. He shouted with joy on conquering this deep-rooted fear. Let's now find out how meaningful his experience of conquering his fear was. As a matter of fact, his terror of water and his conquest of it gave him an insight into the value of life over death. He understood that the fear of death and the near dying experience actually intensify the will to live. His experience and ultimate conquest of his fear was a valuable lesson for him. Thus, he was able to understand in true sense the meaning of Roosevelt's saying that all we have to fear is fear itself. Douglas felt that there is peace in death and there is terror only in fear of death. This fear is indeed baseless and can be conquered by sheer determination, grit, and hard work. Fear is our hardcore enemy that cripples us, so fear needs to be shaken off. Only then we can feel free from and succeed in making the impossible possible. Considering the theme of this chapter, I would like to remind you of the most used adage that where there is a will, there is a way, as well as practice makes a man perfect. Now, these two popular sayings are actually the main theme of this chapter. But let me elaborate the theme for you. The major theme of the lesson is to acquaint the readers that fear is man's worst enemy because it is a stumbling block to success and thereby destroys man's life and happiness. It is not death, but the fear of death that scares one and all. We must fight this baseless and irrational fear, otherwise, it will overpower us. We need to face the fear peacefully as well as gracefully. After all, with firm determination, courage, hard work, positive approach, and perseverance, you can accomplish the impossible. This chapter also conveys a very strong message that by proper planning and practice, one can reach the level of perfection. In this module, a few important questions based on the chapter are given for your comprehension check. Take help from the explanation which I have just given to you. I am sure you will get all the answers. Please give an attempt to solve them and enrich your understanding. Keep watching to get all inclusive study materials of other chapters too. Thank you.